Hello guys and welcome back to another video, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I don't know whether there is an elephant to address in the room, but because everyone that did join last night's stream, I'm still recovering from that stream. My stomach is still a bit fucked. Um, I probably won't do a Malibu stream again, but I will be doing more Q&As when we hit, like 400 subs, 500 subs. I will be doing that. Because I did enjoy it, apart from, when I actually clicked off the stream, I was completely finished after that. I don't think I said anything mad in the stream, so I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm usually someone that would say something quite mad anyway. But I don't really care if people are offended. I'm just impressed with myself. But big up to everyone, and thank you for joining that. We're trying to hit 500 before the end of the year, 500 subscribers, and we're 26 away from 400. So I appreciate the support, as usual. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about just the transfer window in general. And there's no news today, and I probably won't have a live Friday and Saturday because Friday I'm out, not drinking before anyone says it, but Friday I'm just out, and Saturday I am out for my birthday. Again, I don't think I'll be drinking that day. I don't think I want to be completely honest. Um, but if there's any news, I'll have a live Sunday. I'll have it on Sunday, and then hopefully we can just get back to normal, talking about club football permanently after we're still recovering from the whole Euros sort of situation. But let me get straight into the video. Now, as a West Ham fan, the question in the title is, are you inspired or uninspired by this transfer window? Because I see a lot of debate online. Obviously, I say this all the time, that this probably happens in every fan base, but I can only speak for the West Ham from a West Ham perspective, that the fan base is always split on something because there's always two sides to the argument. I'm sure this happens with other fan bases as well. I'm sure we're not the only one that is this split, but no one likes to agree with each other for sure. And it seems to be the same people that, this goes for everyone. Obviously, the same people like me that were boys out last season are more positive about, the Stein and Lopetegui sort of situation. There are some people that are positive about Moyes, but also positive about Stein and Lopetegui. There are also people that don't like Stein, but were positive about Moyes and positive about Lopetegui. There are also people that are the other way around as well. And there are obviously there are people that are Moyes in that just don't like Stein. Fair enough. I think a man that was good enough for Bayer Leverkusen is good enough for West Ham, personally. Obviously, football doesn't always work like that, but you know exactly what I mean. I'm quite positive. So I was quite impatient, and I still am. I'm very impatient in general, just in life, but especially when it comes to West Ham as well. That's why I was very demanding last year of trying to get signings in, because obviously I've explained this in streams that I've been on and in my own streams. We got 4 signings done last season, and they were all in August. And we had a director of football and a manager that didn't see eye to eye, so you kind of already knew that the manager was going to leave at the end of the season. Obviously, Sky tried putting out there that Moyes was going to leave because of the whole standard situation. I'm pretty sure they didn't get along, but I don't think he was going to leave. We saw they didn't get along in the end because of the fact that Snyder was going to find other managers as well, because he knew that Moyes was going to leave. And people in upheaval about that. It's quite funny. But this season under Lopetegui, going from what the players say, I still need to watch the training videos. I know I keep saying this. I still need to watch training videos as well. Going off how the manager wants to play, what Mohamed Kudus has to say about the manager, him talking about attacking football and stuff, murmurs of maybe youngsters being brought through. We are going after similar targets. I will say that, and I'll get onto that. I don't think under Moyes, don't get me wrong, that we would have got a Guilherme, and we would have tried to get a Todibo. I think Todibo was very unrealistic anyway. Initially, I thought that was a smoke screen for the whole Max Kilman situation, but it turns out we've been trying to work on that deal for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, couple of weeks. Obviously, our bid was accepted, but understandably, he'd want to move to Juventus over West Ham. But I think that's completely fair. We talked about that yesterday. So if you're looking at Tadibo and Guilherme, I don't think they would have been under the previous regime. Now, when we got Mavropanos, it was because Moyes didn't get Maguire, so we went for the starting target. Because I don't believe Moyes thought Mavropanos was some mad Premier League experienced player because he barely played. Edson Alvarez it was clearly wasn't a Moyes signing. Moyes didn't like him. I had a bad feeling that he was going to play a Ward-Prowse Souček midfield, but he ended up playing him anyway for balance, and then they fell out, I'm pretty sure, at the back end of the season. And in that Chelsea game, he took him off at half-time, and the midfield looked even worse anyway. And then he was talking about how he missed Declan Rice, and that's why we're getting battered. So I don't think that was a Moyes signing at the time either. What else was I going to say? Mohamed Kudus, that was also a signing that was pretty much done up by Rob Newman. I'm pretty sure it was Rob Newman and Mark Noble that was already addressed the signing. Like, there wasn't, like, Kudus and Alvarez were already going to be, like, trying to go for, apparently. But I'm pretty sure it's because Noble and Rob Newman identified them. I actually like Rob Newman. I kind of miss Rob Newman. I don't know whether, but I don't think he would have liked to be a side piece in the situation. It was he would have liked to be the main man. Listen, if we didn't get Steidon and we just kept Rob Newman, I would have been fine with that as well. I think he addressed some good targets. I think probably a bit underrated, but I'm happy with Steidon now. I'm just happy with with an actual structure in the club. The reason why I think we're going after the same targets is because I mentioned this in a couple of videos before, and I'm gonna find the quote on the stream, one of these days. But Lopetegui wanted an English core at Wolves, so I think that's why he was trying to go. That's why he got Dawson, but he was also trying to go after Aaron Cresswell, Mikel Antonio, etc. So that's why I think you're seeing. Obviously, I think he likes Ward-Prowse. Like, believe it or not, I know some of you don't. But I believe he'd like a Ward-Prowse. That's why he likes Cresswell. Like, he identified him there. Signed a new deal. Listen, I don't agree with it. But that's... The manager wanted that, innit? So whatever. Mikel Antonio. He obviously likes Mikel Antonio. I obviously like Mikel Antonio. He's my favourite West Ham player. He will obviously like a Jared Bowen. I think we all do. If there's anyone that dislikes Jared Bowen, I look at him slightly sideways. But he wants an English core. And that's an English core. Max Kilman as well. He had him as captain at Wolves. And Kilman is someone that we went for quite a long time. We've been slightly interested. He's been on previous shortlists. I'm pretty sure ex-West Ham employee even addressed that on Twitter and stuff. Obviously, Duran is still probably our top striker target. And he's someone that we tried to go for in previous windows. Obviously, Guilherme and Fotheringham. Fotheringham's just a third choice keeper, and Guilherme is someone that would have been identified by Steidon after that fucking long trip to Brazil. But brother, please don't go back to Brazil. We don't need to deal with Brazilians again. I know there's the Wesley guy and all that. And listen, we might go after Wesley if we don't go after Reece Nelson, but there's still people on the shortlist like that Steidon would have addressed. That Samuel Amarion, whatever the fuck his name is, from Atletico, he was on our shortlist. We had a bid rejected for him. They clearly want to keep him, or they want to sell him for like a 60 million ridiculous sort of thing. I don't really know too much about the guy. Obviously Tadibo, Guilherme, Wesley, Fabrizio Bruno. These are all players that were probably identified by Steidon. But I would understand why people are kind of uninspired due to the fact that we're going after still players like Reece Nelson, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, signings that we would have gone for under Moyes, and we've been interested in both of them before. Like, they've been on shortlist before. I don't mind. I'm probably gonna talk about Reece Nelson tomorrow again. Just like trying to see if he's the answer for West Ham, etc. And listen, I have my reservations about Wan-Bissaka, but I'll support him if he comes in. Kyle Walker-Peters, I mean, it isn't someone that we were interested in before, but it isn't exactly someone that's that Moyes wouldn't like. You know, he was an English player in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure Moyes would have wanted him. Like if that came about, I don't think that would have changed. Um, Obviously he would have been my preference, as people obviously know, but that's not going to happen. I don't think. Even though he's still there, I think Southampton finessed us. Um, but I'd understand why people are uninspired in terms of that aspect. Same targets. My main thing with that is also I believe in this coach to get better out of the players of these targets than I would like a David Moyes, for example, due to the style of play and just different ideas. And I also believe in the fact that the reason why I think Steinen is still at the helm and still making the main choice is because if this was Sullivan, we wouldn't have signed three players by now, even though one of them was a free agent. So let's say we wouldn't have signed two signings by now, like two first teamers. Like I think the Kilman thing would have dragged on for a very long time if it was up to Sullivan. I think the Guilherme signing wouldn't have happened if it was for Sullivan. So I still believe that Steinen and Lopetegui are the main ones talking. It's just that Sullivan's putting up the funds for once, and I kind of did believe that just because obviously there was murmurs of because this was Sullivan's man Lopetegui. I mean Steinen. Sullivan's man was Steinen, and he wanted to take a step back from making footballing decisions, which he should have done as soon as he bought the club. But obviously 10 years too late and all that. But even he knows that how fucking stupid he is. I don't know how long it's taken him to realise that, but even he's realised how fucking stupid he is. But I am overall quite positive, mainly because I think we're getting the business done earlier, and the manager is going to get more out of the players than the David Moyes would. But that's just my opinion. I'm not thrilled about the transfer targets. I'm not thrilled about it, but I do believe that Guilherme is quite exciting from what I hear and see. Obviously, we've only seen one pre-season game. I wish gave him the ball more often. I'm not going to just jizz over his performance already. Like, barely gave him the ball, but he showed some good signs. That there's not really much to take from it. And I like Max Kilman. I obviously had slight reservations, as I keep saying. And I'm sure some of you are sick of hearing that already. But I'm fine. I'm content with the Kilman signing. Like, I think it's an upgrade on what we have. I don't believe he's worth 40 million, but I understand why we've had to pay for that. And people do raise some good points about why we've had to pay for that. So overall, I'm quite excited in terms of the season getting back, in terms of just from a neutral football fan perspective, in terms of club football. Because apart from Spain, international football was fucking shit, man. Even though it's ironic we lost to Spain, but Spain were the only good thing about that tournament. Apart from like the smaller nations in the group stage, they were very entertaining. Like Turkey were actually very entertaining. They're not really a smaller nation, but you know what I mean. Georgia were very entertaining. Like even the Slovenian Slovakias were very interesting. Like I quite enjoyed that part of the tournament, but I'm excited to get club football back. And from a West Ham point of view, I'm excited to see a couple more pre-season games, hopefully, to see how this football comes about. It would have been nice if like there was no international football just so I could see a Jared Bowen within this preseason. But he needs to take a well-deserved break after barely getting a chance at the Euros. Like he was always going to get barely a chance. Probably got more games than I thought, to be honest. But it is what it is. But I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited, and I'm probably going to change the title. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys more cautious? Are you guys cautiously optimistic? Are you guys excited? Are you guys down about it? For me, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't expect much of the first season. But I'm also excited to see what the football's like, and also see if we include any youngsters, pre-season stuff like that. I don't really expect much of the first season. I know there's going to be some bumps, but depending on the context, I might be either more judgmental or less judgmental. It just all depends on the context of the season. I'm not going to go too in on the manager unless he gets us into a relegation battle. That's the only time I'll actually be like, what the hell? But listen, I wasn't initially positive about the appointment before, but I bought into it. I've bought into the direction. I believe everyone is fully aligned with each other. I'm quite happy with everyone actually going in the same direction, everyone thinking the same way. And that's all we need, really. And then if that way doesn't go to its plan, then you judge everyone that was thinking in this direction. It's quite simple as that. There's no agendas here. Like, if you're an employee at West Ham, I'll judge you. I judge you for the good and the bad. So, listen, I'm content. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you are new. We are trying to hit 500 before the end of the year. Social media is over in the description if you want to follow me, the email for the inquiries. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.